Okay, conjunctive adverbs. Why are we going over conjunctive adverbs when there's not going to be a test on conjunctions and all that stuff? Well, obviously, the test is not going to happen. But using conjunctions well and being able to write different kinds of sentences, both in terms of length and construction, are what make for strong sentence structure. That is why you have good sentences and weak sentences and boring and monotonous sentences. Strong sentence structure is part of writing a strong essay or any formal writing. And conjunctive adverbs, because we've done two other kinds of conjunctions, conjunctive adverbs are the most sophisticated of the conjunctions, and they make for strong transitions. They are also part of the rubric for the actual essay that you are, if you're still with me, writing. So a quick review: coordinating conjunctions, or fanboys. They use a comma when they connect two independent clauses. This pandemic is not fun, comma, but I have more time to read. And there is no comma when an independent clause connects to a dependent clause. I like to play baseball and soccer. Soccer cannot stand on its own. It is not an independent clause. Therefore, no comma before the fanboy. But the previous sentence, I have more time to read. That is independent. It can stand on its own. Therefore, you need the comma before but. That are coordinating conjunctions, or fanboys. Subordinating conjunctions, or Abby saw woo-woo. There is a comma when the subordinating conjunction is at the beginning of the sentence. When I was sick, comma, I spent a lot of time lying down. I could, meanwhile, just switch those up because there's no comma when the subordinating conjunction is in the middle of the sentence or between the two clauses. I made a sandwich because I was hungry. So again, let's just flip those. Because I was hungry, comma, I made a sandwich. I spent a lot of time lying down, no comma, when I was sick. That is a quick review. Conjunctive adverbs are like conjunctions because they connect two independent clauses and they show the relationship between the two independent clauses. They are unlike conjunctions because they're much more sophisticated. It's stronger word choice, and unlike the conjunctions, which require a comma sometimes, conjunctive adverbs require a semicolon, not a comma, to connect two independent clauses. What are the conjunctive adverbs? If we were in my room, I would just point to the signs behind me because they're right up there. I don't have them. So these are some of the conjunctive adverbs. Some you might know: however, nonetheless, otherwise, subsequently, therefore, thus, furthermore, finally, accordingly, firstly, second, thirdly, all that stuff. Those are the conjunctive adverbs. An example, and I want to note, I'll note this in a second. An example: Jackie liked to play baseball, semicolon, however, comma, he likes soccer even more. However signifies opposition. It's in contrast to the first main clause. Notice however means the exact same thing as but. It's just more sophisticated. It's stronger writing. Jackie liked to play baseball, semicolon, however, comma, he liked soccer even more. And these are what the words mean. However, which means the same thing as but, nevertheless, nonetheless, conversely, on the other hand, are all opposition, mean the exact same thing as but, or yet. Furthermore, moreover, additionally, in addition, mean the exact same thing as and. Therefore, in effect, hence, consequently, otherwise, which mean the same thing, cause and effect, as for, when for is used as a fanboy, because for can be also used as a preposition. Finally, lastly, firstly, secondly, meanwhile, time, sequence, which don't have a similar word for the fanboys. But the point is, they mean largely the exact same thing. Conjunctive adverb grammar. Okay, so you use a semicolon when a conjunctive adverb joins two independent clauses, and you use a comma after the conjunctive adverb. Example: Andrew's hands were dirty after eating the sandwich. That is an independent clause. Semicolon, however, comma, he decided not to clean them. You could put that mathematically as main clause plus semicolon plus conjunctive adverb plus comma plus main clause. And also notice that the clause after the semicolon, that would be where it says however, is not capitalized. So let's look at this. Main clause plus semicolon plus conjunctive adverb plus comma plus main clause. Andrew's hands were dirty after eating the sandwich, semicolon. However, comma, he decided not to clean them. One little side note, I don't want to confuse you, but I do need you to understand this. When the conjunctive adverb interrupts a single main clause, as opposed to connects two different main clauses, but just interrupts one main clause, then you use commas to separate it from the rest of the sentence. For example, Hannah was determined, comma, moreover, comma, to eat the entire meal. This is breaking up one individual main clause. Hannah was determined could actually stand on its own, but to eat the entire meal couldn't. So Hannah was determined to eat the entire meal. That is an independent sentence. It could stand on its own. You're using moreover to interrupt it, therefore is set off by commas. But again, that's kind of a side thing that I don't want you to worry too much about. I just want you to be aware of it. All right, if you have any questions or would like to write 5 sentences and have me check them, just to make sure you understand how to use them, just email me. Also, on Canvas, there is a link for a bunch of conjunctive adverb games. I realize that sounds corny, but I actually played one of them where I was this car and I was jumping over other cars, and it was actually kind of enjoyable. So, please feel free to play the conjunctive adverb games. In summary, you've got your coordinating conjunctions, your fanboys, comma when it connects two independent clauses, no comma when it connects an independent clause to a dependent clause. Subordinating conjunctions, comma when the subordinating conjunction begins the sentence, no comma when it is between the two clauses. And the conjunctive adverbs, semicolon precedes the conjunctive adverb, comma follows it, and then you've got that side note when the conjunctive adverb interrupts an individual independent clause. Now, with that said, in the rubric for the essay, which again, the grading's kind of weird. At this point, you cannot get your grade cannot drop. But it could still improve, and this is something you want to know in order to write better essays. This is what is in the rubric. For advanced, all the conjunction conventions are perfect. The writer effectively uses at least 2 examples of coordinating and subordinating, and they use at least 3 conjunctive adverbs, and lastly, the conjunctions are underlined. Under proficient, there might be a slip up here or there, or something usually along those lines, or at least you're only using 2 conjunctive adverbs. Under emerging, there's usually a lot of inconsistency and only 1 conjunctive adverb. And lastly, under the last one, you're probably going to use conjunctions anyway, but it's evident that you're so inconsistent that you probably don't know what you're doing with them. So, that is conjunctive adverbs. Again, they're just like the conjunctions we've already gone over. There will be no test, but strong writing uses different constructions of sentences, and this is another way, and a more sophisticated way, to write strong sentences. Email me if you have any questions, if you just want me to check that you know how to use conjunctive adverbs, or if you want to play those terribly fun, and I'm being sarcastic, but they are kind of fun, games using conjunctive adverbs. It's all on Canvas. See you later.